Welcome to the Hidden City Podcast. I'm Grant.
And I'm Doug, and we're here to share some of the incredible stories and people from Oak Cliff that you might not know.
We're going to sit down with some of the visionaries, craftsmen, and business owners who have shaped Oak Cliff into what it is today.
Oak Cliff is on the south bank of the Trinity River, a few miles south of downtown Dallas. While technically it was part of Dallas, it was its own city for a long time, and it still has that independent spirit.
We'll dive into the history and the spirit of this place, exploring the different challenges and successes that defined it.
This is The Hidden City, a podcast about the people and the stories that make Oak Cliff extraordinary.
Welcome to this episode of the Hidden City Podcast. Today, we have a very special episode with the crew. Cheers, y'all. We are
crazy.
Cheers.
Season 1.
Clinking from far.
Season 1. We got our whole team on the show today, and before we move on to anything else, we're gonna enjoy a little
recap.
Walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
So let's first maybe talk about Jason, because he's sitting right here.
I know. This is the man
he's not
behind,
normally in front of the camera.
Exactly.
So Jason is
He's our producer for the show. He's been here for every single episode, recording, editing, helping us make this thing happen. And so we also have Savannah over here.
There she is.
Production manager for the show, helping us coordinate and putting just all this together. So it's been awesome.
We truly would not be doing this without the team in this room.
Yeah.
So it's just fun to finally have a moment where we can say thank you to you guys.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's been a journey. It's been a ride so far.
Dude, did you know you got into this when we were asking? We were like, hey, we got this idea for the neighborhood podcast, and let's go.
You know, I actually thought it would probably fizzle out after episode 3.
Same.
Yeah, we're not going to make it. But here we are. You know what? 46 episodes.
Is that right?
Dude,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
literally a year ago we started recording, which is kind of crazy.
I just remember when
you had braces.
I had braces. My teeth will look different in 2 weeks, too.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's just a journey, man. I'm telling you.
crazy.
You get to be here for all the highlights.
I do feel like this was a long time coming, like this idea of a podcast for the neighborhood. And we definitely went full on this. We were like, let's get the videos, let's get the cameras, I
was going to say, it was like December 2023. We were at Merit Coffee in Deep Ellum, and we were like, let's take a vote. Do we want to build a podcast studio? Do we want to have our own podcast?
Yeah.
And it was 2-1. And so we have a podcast. I was the no vote. I was wrong.
Oh,
Do you guys remember that?
Honestly,
yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
I was wrong. I was on the wrong side of history.
I don't know about that.
That might be
Only
a voice
time will
reason.
tell, Savannah.
We'll see.
Maybe you were right. But I gotta say, Savannah, you've jumped into this with us and just been pushing it like crazy, helping us wrangle this thing. I remember when we first talked about it, and we even tried to record some episodes. It was brutal. You and I we were all trying to figure it out, and before we got connected with Jason, Jason was here at Waxbase, we were meticulously trying to edit episodes and also trying to figure out what it was, and we just we gave up.
We gave up. We fizzled out.
We fizzled out.
We got it going after this time. So.
And now I feel like we've 46 episodes.
Dude, season 1.
What even?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A whole year worth. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we have to recap a little bit. So this easiest softball one is what is some of y'all's favorite episodes? So if anyone has one to jump off, throw it out there.
Yeah, I got Greg Brownderville was my favorite. He was our first guest that reached out to us and was interested in being on the show. We didn't have a personal connection to him. And he came in with the Arkansas drawl, talking about Southern folklore, shade tree storytelling.
That part was awesome.
It was so good. And I was sitting in the corner while we were recording his episode, and I literally ordered a Mark Twain compilation mid-episode because I was like, I got to get back to these stories. This is so good.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Was amazing. And there's
So
something
good.
about certain people when you talk to them, they go a level deeper, and I don't know how to describe it, but there's with him, he was on a different level.
Yep.
Just intellectually and personally, it was a great conversation.
I would say some of our best interviews have been the people who are you could just tell they have a passion for whatever that thing is. And so he falls in that for me, where it's just this is just who you are. And your passion doesn't have to be overexcitement or anything, but it's just you can ask a question and it's just I'm going.
Yeah.
So,
and he has a great story, like Pumpkin Bend, Arkansas.
Can't make it
places.
up. So good.
And his love for poetry, like you can describe poetry, but like he was reciting it and getting us excited about it.
What's the story he told about that woman?
Oh, it was Flannery O'Connor.
Yeah.
He like met somebody that was like, oh, my niece is in literature. And he was like, oh, who? And it was Flannery O'Onnor.
Like, what even?
That kind of stuff's crazy.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. He surprised me the most. And one of the things we were thinking about is like, who surprised you the most?
Yeah.
You know? He surprised me the most because one, I don't, a lot of the times before we walk in here, I'll ask Savannah or you guys or whoever, like who's in today? Like I don't even know like anything about them, because I'm fairly new to the neighborhood, you know. So, and knowing that he was somebody or his team was, reached out to us, he come in and the first words out of his mouth, because I'm from Alabama, so I got a little bit.
Oh yeah, it comes out
a little bit,
Jason,
a little bit. Okay,
you got Louisiana, Alabama, Texas, right?
Yeah.
And so Savannah's got that too, but. Fun fact, when I was a kid, I actually took like speech pathology classes to try to get rid of some of my like southernness, because I think sometimes there's a little bit of a incorrect stigma that like if you're real country, then you're ignorant.
Yeah, you're not
you know
educated.
What I mean? Yeah, you're not educated. Yeah. And one of my favorite things to see, like I'm still super close to my high school librarian, and I go in and I like every time I go to Alabama, I go to his house, we have a cup of coffee, we talk about literature, whatever. And to have like Greg come in here and just be rich, like
so
rich culturally, but then like
intellectually,
as soon as he opens his mouth, you can tell like, oh no, this guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah. Man, that was such a big surprise for me, and I don't mean that in any kind of negative way. I was really really happy about that. Yeah,
dude, that's an awesome one.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
What are some of the fun ones?
I would be like remiss if I didn't mention Patricia Puckett Hall.
Oh my gosh.
That was one of the best.
That was one of the most wild conversations I think I've ever had. And also just, I love how it came about too. Like just the fact that we were like, let's call her. And we called her up and she answered immediately and we just decided to book it. And so
that was like the only one we had to pay a fee for.
There was an appearance fee.
But just sitting at that table with her and her talking about her childhood and this moment with JFK and Lee Harvey Oswald that literally changed her whole life, her whole direction of her life. She's has circulated around that event.
Yeah.
Just the weight of that was
her talking about Mr. Lee, all the personal connections. I think at one point she was talking about Mr. Lee, like telling her brothers to stop fighting, and she like looked at us and was like, and Mr. Lee said to those brothers, you be kind to them or something like that, because that's all you got in this world. And you and I were like, Grant.
We're like sobbing.
Mr. Lee. Yeah, Mr. Lee.
It was her. Crazy. Also, she started the episode being like, and Mr.Lee sat at that table and helped me with my homework. And it was like we were recording at that table.
At that table.
Yeah, that was wild.
Crazy. I think that's probably one of the only episodes that we've had that like, when something's like a train's on the rails, and it's just kind of like,
yeah, 100%.
Oh, dude, for sure.
But a few moments there, I was like,
and she's like, and you believe this, right?
Yeah,
and we're like,
this is the truth, right? Like, oh gosh,
I was like,
she made a compelling case.
She really did.
She knew her stuff.
It's
true.
Really changed the way I think about that
Whoa,
story.
All of
not
it.
completely. I don't not fully bought in, but like I think she challenged a lot of thoughts. Which was,
you can go talk to her for 3 hours.
You really can.
Oh my goodness,
the whole thing.
That was wild. What about you, Doug?
Well, I think talking to Chris Corpus at the Dallas Zoo, he was a kind of a surprising one as well, Jason. Like, here's a guy who's in charge of like conservation for the zoo, and you're like getting a behind the scenes picture of what's happening in the zoo, but then you get to hear his stories about like, hey, I kind of like, there's a lot of animal trafficking in the area, and I'm getting pulled into this in the neighborhood, and you're just like, wow, I would have never even thought of some of that, but now it makes total sense that he did that. And then his stories about being in North and South Korea, like
looking over in the fake town.
Oh my
goodness,
all
that stuff was crazy.
Like, I was sitting here, I'm like, how did I get to this part of this conversation? And it's so fascinating.
Right.
Like, so a lot of respect for him, but it was just like cool. One of those things where you're like, I had no idea I was gonna have this conversation. Yeah,
I don't think any of us went into that conversation expecting of that kind of conversation with Chris. I feel like we didn't know him.
Yeah,
really, and so it was fun to kind of like become friends during the show.
It's like a good old Instagram DM.
Yeah.
That's how we got
I
him.
feel like that's been a fun part of this is like, I don't know, reflecting, recapping, like on Hidden City. It's like some of the biggest joys or things that I've enjoyed the most about it is like the connections and like also seeing like, hey, I get to know this type of person, or it's an excuse to get to know this person better, or you're now in the neighborhood.
It's truly an excuse to be like, I want to get to know you.
Yeah.
But they come on the show and they feel honored by it. And it's a fun thing for them too. So it's like it's kind of a fun
and then certain
way to
guests
get connected.
Know each other too. Like I know Chris goes and we had Steven on from House Rules, the board games, and he was like, oh, Chris comes all the time. And it's just like, oh, you get to feel this like neighborhood Oak Cliff kind of thing.
Yeah, the deepness of it.
Yeah. Where it's like, yeah.
I was actually thinking about that yesterday. Literally, I was driving by the zoo, and I was like, yo, I could go in there and say, I know somebody in here. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was really cool.
That being like a top 4 or 5 zoos in the nation.
Country. Yeah, it's the largest in Texas and like oldest in Texas.
Which some things I just didn't even know about.
The global impact is crazy.
Yeah.
You think about the zoo and just be like, oh yeah, cool, they're taking care of animals here. So like no, they're making major global impact across. It's insane.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't even think about that.
It's wild for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like another one that I enjoyed was it Gayla Brooks talking through like just some of the history of Jefferson.
She was awesome.
You're like hearing about going to like get candy at the department store or something. You're like, oh, that's like
Sears.
This feels that's what it was, Sears.
She was another JFK tie-in because she skipped school at Sunset High School to go to the parade and then was driving back on the viaduct and heard the news that JFK
on the radio
had been assassinated.
Her stories were
amazing.
Just from a different time. They were just like it felt like we had been transported back into
that Jefferson heyday, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It
like
really
it just
was like a heyday.
People are going up and down that. Like
one of my stories that I loved about her was the fake holdups they would do.
Yes.
Oh, that's wild.
The fake robberies.
They would go to Texas Theater and be like, "Hey, give me some money," and they'd hand him a penny, and they would walk out like it was a big joke. Yeah.
And it's just funny to think about the history of Oak Cliff now. It's like, actually, no, there was a time when like crime got pretty bad. And but that was just the fact that was just a joke back then. It's just interesting, but
it's so interesting.
Yeah.
My personal favorite was episode 8, Richard Doherty.
I
loved him, dude. Like such a regal guy. Yeah. Like the big glasses and just he had the little
bolo tie.
That's right. Yeah.
He had a bolo.
Dude, he was just a vibe.
So cool. And obviously, I mean, I do not just this videography stuff and photography when we talk about connect on that, but it's like hearing like the tactile, because that's something I've never done. Like I've been when I was in school, I graduated art honors, so like I did like the black room or dark room stuff. Yeah. But like, man, hearing him talk about like the process and how he built this whole lab and then they had to shut it down and like all these different things, it was just, I don't know. Well, that was just a different time.
His commitment to storytelling for so long. I mean, it was like decades long of being like, I'm going to tell the story of Oak Cliff more and more through these images.
Yeah. And there wasn't money. Like, where's the money coming from in
I don't
that?
even
know.
He was like trained in Chicago, I think, in fine arts, and then like landed here. And he was an impressive one that I like. We kind of knew from, I think Claudia at Whose Books was telling us about that book when it was coming out. But he came in with some swagger and like shared some crazy stories.
Yeah,
and
I could listen to him talk forever.
And you did a great job of editing that episode too, for people who hadn't seen that. But like, you overlaid his photography in that during the whole thing, which was really cool because not everyone, has the book, but it's like he's talking about these turtle fishermen in the Trinity River or whatever, and you're getting to see some of those images as he's chatting through that. So that was
a fun one to look up too, because we had just recorded an episode with Sky McDaniel, and we're going through Richard Doherty's archives on his website, and I was like, Jason, this is Sky McDaniel, but like as a teenager, because she was his next door neighbor, and he had photographed like her family in their front yard. And we were like,
it really was?
Yeah. Yes, it was literally Sky McDaniel.
I didn't know that.
So
I know.
Oh, that's crazy. I want to see that.
Yeah, we need to,
we need to pull that up.
Yeah. That's
shout out to Sky too. Also
Sky's
an
awesome.
A great episode.
Everyone go eat at La Bodega.
She's got some passion.
So much like Bishop Arts Restaurant tea and gossip in that one. It was so fun.
For real. That's amazing.
Richard Doherty.
Yeah, I loved
him.
him.
And Jefferson Boulevard. I love just, again, Jefferson Boulevard being the place that he was at for 25 years, just walking up and down, talking to people.
Oh, yeah, that was a whole series.
I'm just gonna,
for sure.
I'm just going to photograph you.
I feel like
it's cool.
It was so early on, but Taylor Twins was one of those two that felt like a deep episode, but also like one where it's just like, oh, I like don't know you that well. I know you're a leader in the neighborhood. Like, come on and let's talk. And it was fun getting to see like, dude, you've gone and done all of this stuff, and you're really leading in this portion of the neighborhood, and to get that out and people hearing that was like pretty awesome.
I feel like we got some
feedback
bonded on the power of proximity. He talks a lot about super block, which is where he focuses all his attention. And I think it's like amazing how his vision for that and Monty's vision for Tyler Station and this whole area are like really aligned, really similar. It's like stay in your neighborhood and that's where you can have the most impact. I think it also opened my eyes to like some of the dark parts of our history in Oak Cliff and Dallas in general. Like I think he definitely spoke to that well in a way that was like we could all understand. And it's some things I had never heard of before.
Thinking of that April Allen's episode too. I mean, there's just like what did she say? Her house said like not to be sold to African Americans or something like that.
Right, her house in Winnetka Heights that she bought.
Yeah, it was
still
like
has
the redlining.
Yeah, it was just like this is part of telling this neighborhood story is making sure all this stuff kind of gets out and talked about and stuff. So, this is a lot for season 1, y'all.
Was a lot.
I'm curious, Jason. Were you like, you're like, what are these brothers doing? like what? Like, I mean,
I tell you what. When I first started with you guys, because just for everybody else's knowing, like, I don't know, Savannah. Maybe you can help me answer this because you know my memory. Like, how long? I wouldn't remember her long before we started talking through this. Maybe like 3 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say you came in the spring, maybe of 2024, which is when we were kind of talking about this, and then we started recording like June 2024.
Is that right?
I think. Yeah,
we moved pretty quick on that. We were like, Jason
was
has
the missing piece. Clicked in
because we'd had the podcast studio, and we like lots of people had recorded cool projects here, but you were recording with a client,
right?
And we were like, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
In our studio, like our studio looks great. Let's talk to Jason.
That's right. Yeah, we had seen some of your work and kind of started some of the conversation that way.
Right. I know it wasn't long, but I didn't know anything about y'all hardly.
Yeah.
In fact, I couldn't keep your name straight for the longest
Honestly,
in my head, which I know that's a lot of people. It's the it's just anyway.
Being bros.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
I actually didn't know you were brothers. I just thought y'all were co-owners for a while.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean,
we should put that in our like email signature, brothers.
Brothers. I literally, it was like I uncovered more and more and more. Like I thought you just owned this, but then I was like, oh my gosh, hang on, you're involved with this, and you're doing this, and you're doing this, and you're doing this. And are you sure that you want to do this? This is a lot. Dude, this is a lot.
The only way we could do it was with you, Jay.
So no, I think one of the things I loved, and this has been a gift to me, honestly, because when I first became a member at Wax Space, I was living in Euless. So, and I felt so much pressure, not bad pressure, but I felt pressure every time I would be here. Someone would be like, so you live in the neighborhood? I'm like,
oh, for sure.
No, freaking live in Euless. It's like saying Richardson. Okay?
Yeah.
Richardson.
That's been a fun thing line.
I'll tell you. All the way through season 1, poor Richardson. So, but yeah, it's like, so I moved here like literally 3 or 4 months after I became a member, and I live 7 minutes down the road, and it's like it's been such a gift. But the biggest gift to me has been almost like immediately having deep connections in the neighborhood just because of this. Like I literally ran into Aaron Glover.
Yeah,
that was
a great
guy.
episode.
The Writers Garrett.
The Writers. That's right. Ran into him at this Thai place the other day and just like chatted it up.
Amazing.
You know, or like making the connection with Joy over at Joy Macaroons.
Or
not Joy.
Liz.
Yep. At Joy Macaroons.
Thank you. Sorry.
But
yeah, just making connections with her and like all these different people, Monty, and like just the deep connections that almost immediately happened for me. feels like a gift, and it's only because of this show that happened.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise it would be like I'd randomly make connections here maybe, and eventually know who people are. Yeah. But because I've literally met 45 like movers and shakers in the neighborhood over the last year, and it's just been such a gift to me. So I'm thankful.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I feel like that's the goal for the show. Is like, there's a lot of people in the neighborhood that are doing like really interesting things, and it feels, I don't know, maybe it's not totally unique, but it feels unique in Oak Cliff. We're biased. And that's like, how do we get this stuff out for people to get to know each other better and see like what they're doing and meet your neighbors, you know, like it's making those connections and stuff. So that's cool
really
to hear.
Fun.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the same way you feel a little bit, which is I didn't know those 45 people. I knew some of them. Like we knew some of them, but like there was a lot of people we were introduced to that. Greg, for instance, never would have probably ever run into him or spoken to him. But because of the show, now I feel like, okay, I have a cool connection with the SMU literature department. Yeah. Or
totally.
You know, so I'm with you. I feel that too.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah. Do you know what I keep thinking back to? One of the things that we were thinking through just kind of in our notes was like what's one of the like the most surprising things. And this is not surprising, but I just think it's funny, and I just have to shout him out, which is Don Tortellini.
Oh yeah.
And
his
his promotion for the show was insane. The other day he posted again on his story, and I slid up on it and told him, I said, this one makes me laugh every time. But he does like these little pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's like a guy and a girl laying in a bed, and there's like
that
watching.
One got me. That
oh
one
my
got
gosh,
me.
like
watching him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I love like these little teasers, little like
So
like, bro, he's so good at like walked in here with his sunglasses and just had like the deepest voice in the world.
Kept the shades on the entire
the whole time. Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
And
The
what's
jean
funny
jacket.
is, turns out I go to church with him.
Oh, no way.
Didn't know this.
Dude, that's awesome.
Did not know this. He literally came up to me and he goes, so you go to Social Dallas? I was like, yeah. And he said, oh, I run a camera there. I said, I don't believe you, because I do camera stuff there. And I'm going, I've never seen you. And then like 2 or 3 Sundays passed, and I was like, there's no way. There's
lying.
no way. Yeah.
He's a liar.
And then he showed up one Sunday, and he's like, got a badge on. He's running the camera.
That's
and
awesome.
I walked up to him. I said, I was convinced that you lied to me. And he's like, here I am. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Don was a great one. His promo was awesome. I agree. It would make me laugh.
And he connected us to Merced Elizondo, which was another awesome episode.
Yeah.
Just like a good filmmaker community in Oak Cliff, and like connections to the Texas theater and that kind of.
I do love the way everybody that comes on the show now is like, you need to talk to so and so. We walk away with a list of 5 people almost every time.
Right.
Speaking of surprising moments, I don't know if it's surprising as much as it is hilarious. Our early episode with Jimmy Contreras. We still were getting our sea legs, still are, but like hadn't done any recording really.
That was our very first recording.
It was the first
recording.
Let's make it fun.
Yeah, we made it like several episodes in, but
it
was the very first recording.
Yeah. And sure enough, like drops, a couple cuss words, and we're like, all right, there's our explicit rating. We got it.
That happened real quick.
It was pretty fun. He's such a fun guy.
Dude, that was hilarious.
It was awesome.
Yeah, Jimmy was great. I feel like the filmmaker community, kind of seeing some of that, the Javier, it was like with Wild Detectives, it was cool seeing, Oak Cliff's known for its arts, and it's like, here's some of these artists that are like doing these things here. And so that was fun. And I think too, like the listeners, like I even like getting feedback from people too that are just like encouraging us to be like, keep going. Like I was like, this morning I was getting Taco Deli and someone was like, hey, you and Grant should have this, whatever, behind the counter as I was getting a taco. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
I was like, okay. I was like, nice to meet you. And like, thanks for listening. I don't know, but it's just like those little tiny moments too, where it's like people are passionate about this neighborhood and how
and appreciate that. Like these conversations are happening. I think that's been fun to. I agree. It's been fun to hear and see. It's like a interesting feeling when like now somebody comes to the show and they're like, I've listened to every episode and I brought you this gift, and we're like, wait, what? What are you talking about? It's just kind of a cool.
Still waiting on my grill though.
Yeah.
That Nomad Grill. He was just out in LA hanging out with all the stars. It was crazy.
Little season 2 preview.
Is it? Oh yeah, sorry. Season 2. Nomad Grill's coming in.
Now they are. Here we go.
I mean, Savannah, I feel like you interact with quite a few people too, but like just hearing I feel like it's been encouraging. Like hearing from listeners just like, hey, we love this. We're wanting to share this with people and get more and more people like out here and telling stories. And so,
oh my gosh. Yeah. Even just like our running the Instagram, like our Instagram DMs are always just people so excited. Like when we put out a new episode or they're like, oh my gosh, like I wanted, like I think of Sarah Nystrom, who we released like a couple weeks ago. And so many people were like, I've been waiting for Sarah. Like, this is so great. Like, that's so fun. She's our neighbor down the street.
Yeah.
It's cool to like be able to get people like that on camera and people be excited about it.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. So it was a good first season, y'all.
Good first season.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
What were like, if you had to say like one or two things that were like major takeaways or through lines for the entire season,
like themes almost, or
theme, or like, because we talked about how Richardson was referred to derogatorily throughout the entire season.
Sorry, Luis.
Was there anything else that rose to the surface that you weren't expecting, or things
for
that
sure.
maybe that you saw as like, oh yeah, this is just reaffirming this theme or idea?
I feel like the entrepreneurial nature of some of these people and just like the willingness to help each other, it was like, I knew that, like I knew it from the Emporium Pies, kind of like knowing those owners back in the day, and it's just like it's just part of the culture here. But like I feel like we heard that time and time again throughout the season. It's just like, hey, this person's believing in something, they're going after something, and this person helps. Like, or this person gives a little bit of their kitchen space with like La Bodega or whatever. It's just like everyone's kind of they're wanting the best for each other because we're kind of in this thing together. And so that was a good theme, hearing that. But
that's what's so funny to me is that is 1,000% true. Just as someone who came like recently into Oak Cliff, 1,000% true. But also what's true is, and has been a through line, is like everyone says like, don't come here. Like, we're not saying don't come here, but other people that have never been here are saying don't go there.
The Oak Cliff we've talked about that a couple of times, right?
Like real estate agents saying, you don't want to buy a house there. You don't want to buy a house there. And like I lived in Garland for 10 years, and it was very much like when I would see the Oak Cliff like mirrors sign over here off the Oak Cliff,
Oak Cliff glass.
I'm like, glass.
Mirrors.
That's what it is. I would see that and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like this is not the good part of town. Like that was immediately like that was kind of in my mind subconsciously because people like said that. Yeah. But when I told somebody the other day, because somebody said something to me about that, like unrelated to the show, and I'm like, actually, it's a really great place. I said, but we really want people to keep thinking that so that it doesn't get overrun. We want to keep it local. We want to keep it small.
Yeah, they're like it's horrible.
As someone who's helping to overrun it, but I'm saying like that's kind of been an interesting through line. Is like how many real estate agents are they getting paid to like not to say like don't come to Oak Cliff?
What's the incentive?
Go to Richardson.
How about y'all, Savannah, Grant?
Man, I think, well, I got to shout out Bettina Bennett, like one of our early episodes. She had like the most clippable soundbite when she was like, I'm not a Dallasite, I'm an Oak Cliffer. And that was like, that's really been a theme for the show. Just 100%. To be honest. But I feel like so many of our, like, especially our first 20 episodes, it felt like we would interview Sky McDaniel and she would talk, not knowing that we had interviewed like Jimmy or Javi. She would be like, yeah, Javi and Jimmy helped me like get started with La Bodega. And then we would interview Richard Doherty and he'd be like, oh yeah, Sky was my neighbor and babysat my kids. And it was just so many like,
it's like everybody knew each other.
Yes, or like
almost.
Having Gary Buckner on from Stash and he'd be like, yeah, me and Monty, and then all of this other stuff that I've built, all the wood, it was just like cool to see how many people are connected in Oak Cliff, and some of those connections, but then like some of them are random. Like,
it's like we're uncovering this web of connections on the show. That's kind of fun. One of the things that keeps coming to mind for me, especially in relation to the entrepreneurial spirit, was just how many people have no idea what they're doing. And they just decide they want to start a business or do something. And this whole season felt like a peek behind the curtain of like, that person's never started a business and has no business background, but loves food and is going to just do it. And they're going to maybe, partner with somebody who's going to help them a little bit. Or these people are just like following their interest. And I think it's really important to share that because it's like, no, everybody kind of doesn't know what they're doing totally. Like it's not, enough to be not terribly dangerous to yourself by just having a passion, going for it, and figuring it out as you go.
We for sure didn't know we were doing.
We still don't know what we're doing, Doug. We have no clue what we're doing.
Well, but like, yeah, like even Ari the other day with like being in Italy for 10 years, and he's just like, I'm just gonna do this, and you're like, all right, like there's
another season 2 preview.
Yeah, shout out all the people who've been asking for Ari.
Sorry, season 2 preview. My bad. I'm just dropping them left and right.
Names.
Something to look forward to.
There you go. But yeah, we're already working on it.
It's funny to me because I think it can be really intimidating to start a business or to start a new project, but it is also great when you just go for it.
You're in good company.
You're in good company. There's a lot of people doing that exact thing. I'm not saying bet your entire life savings on an idea that is half-baked, but I am saying, like, it's okay to, try something new.
Do like half your life savings on it.
Take a risk. Yeah, it's fine.
One more story that I felt like we had to share. It was epic. We were on WFAA for
Good Morning Texas. Yes.
I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
From not existing to getting some TV time was awesome. I don't know. It's just a hilarious.
Poppin' Pods.
Poppin' Pods.
We had a nice little Poppin' Pods segment. That was crazy. Good memory.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was crazy. I feel like we did all right. We repped Oak Cliff pretty well.
It was great.
Yeah.
Had the Wax Base and Oak Cliff Brewing T-shirts.
Yeah, we were branded out.
Branded out.
Yeah.
We got the Advocate too. We've got the article in there.
Jillian at the Advocate.
So we've gotten a little bit of publicity.
Yeah,
a little bit of media.
Come on, media.
WFAA and Oak Cliff Advocate helping us get out.
Did you guys have any like personal connections? Like we had somebody on the podcast, and then you were like, "We're gonna connect and do business together." Like, was there anybody that you?
This is one that's like in real time. Yeah. So I can't. I mean, obviously, we just mentioned Ari from Ari's Pantry. Ari and I have been talking over the last week since we spoke to him about the honeymoon I'm planning. And we're literally going to get coffee next week and talk through the entire plan. So so I feel like yes,
dude,
to answer your question, I think it's happening on some level.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think of some of these were like business connections and friend connections. And it's just like, hey, how do we like, I think of Colin Martin with Bingo and like stuff like that, where it's just like, this is like a joy to kind of get this stuff out. But yeah, things that have happened since making those connections. I mean, I got a board game the other day at House Rules, and you're like, it's kind of, starting to think through some of that stuff, and you're just like, oh yeah, we really connected on the pod. But
Jason, what about you? I mean, any connections with hosts? Or the guests.
With the hosts?
You guys,
any connections?
Yeah. Tell us about your connections, man.
Doing a little bit of business together.
That's true.
Man, I mean, besides the ones that I've mentioned already, but like, I did go into House Rules the other day. I just happened to be kind of walked by there. And do you remember how he said people naturally, like learning how people like shop and how
in
they
retail,
naturally turn right?
95% go to the right or something.
And how he said his door opens weird. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to really emphasize this. And so I like walked in and I saw him behind the counter. I went, I'm going to go right. And here's what's great. He didn't know who I was at all. He didn't know who I was at all. And I said, I'm going to go right. And he goes, huh? He's
like, what?
I said, I'm going to go right. And he goes, all right, man. Like that.
That's amazing.
So I went right, and I circled around, and I said, "What's up, dude?" And he goes, "What's up?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't remember me? It's fine." I said, "Hidden City," and he goes, I knew I recognized your face. I was like, yeah. And I reminded him about the whole turn right thing. He goes, yeah, people do it all the time. And it really was kind of awkward because it's like there's not that much room to get by. But yeah, like things like that. I will tell you the thing that I love the most, or like the episode that like I don't know, I just think about all the time is Amy Cowan. Like, am I saying her name right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Because before I knew anything about Oak Cliff, actually, Oddfellows was just my place. Like anytime someone came to town, anybody into whatever, like I took them to Oddfellows all the time.
Dude, that was true for me before
the brisket
I
hash.
It's
had my number for 10 years.
That was
like
years
I love that
ago.
place. Yeah. And I what's funny is I was still living in Detroit, and I came down to Dallas for I think like a funeral. And I was walking around Bishop Arts, and I Googled coffee. Like, it was a coffee shop close by. And Oddfellows was the place. So I, like, walk in there, and I look around, like, the whole vibe, and I'm like, this is me. And I'm like, this will be my place forever. And it still is. And then I didn't realize, again, I've mentioned this earlier, who she was. I don't know who half these people are when they first get here, but then I sit here and I listen to their stories, and she's talking about Oddfellows, and I'm going, yo, like she's like Mrs. Oddfellow, like that's awesome. My gosh, like wow. And like I don't know, I was just enamored by that, but also that, and she owns the place next door and the place over next door from there. And then Revelers Hall, which I walk by and I like love the music and just
so good.
Yeah, so just hearing her and how cool she was, she's very relaxed and chill.
Yes.
And somehow she gets on Southwest flights and flies here all the time.
Yeah. Amy's amazing.
She's incredible. Yeah. So that was just a really cool thing. I'm just waiting to bump into her. Like I just want to see her like at Oddfellows and be like,
Mardi Gras parade.
What's up?
I love that.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I love it.
It's been fun.
It's been a good ride for season one. Doug, tell us what's going on.
Oh yeah, so we're taking a break for a little while, and we at Waxbase we have something called Texas Talks, which is we have a spring season and a fall season, and once a month we have kind of someone come up and tell their story. So it's like an idea for the neighborhood is what we've talked about. And so we're actually going to be playing those for the next few weeks, some of the best of our Texas Talks, and kind of as we prepare for season 2.
Yeah, these are another thing we do here at Waxbase and just love. And it's fun that we're going to be able to share some of our favorites with you. Yeah. And also buy us a little break in the action before we start season 2. We'll probably throw Richard Ross's episode in there, which is just everything you can imagine about branding and kind of how brands work.
Starting a sparkling water business. It's just a fascinating one.
And then, they're a monthly lecture series. So they're, it's more almost TED Talk style where somebody's explaining their idea or big concept for the neighborhood. And so,
we've had some crossovers. We won't do those on the Texas Talks for these next couple of weeks, but
Tammy Coker is a Texas Talk and Hidden City podcast guest.
He
was at one of our early
2019,
Texas Talks.
one of our first Texas Talks.
Wow. First one. Yeah.
So shout out to Texas Talks. It is a thing that we do spring and fall at Waxbase. So like, stay tuned. Follow the Waxbase on Instagram. Find out when our next season's
3 new talks coming up this fall.
Going out.
That's it.
So a lot of fun.
We'll be running those for a few weeks. You're also getting married during that time, so it's a nice strategic break as well. But something to where we can kind of prepare for season 2. I feel like that's like a big thing too, where we're doing some of these interviews. We're not reformatting, but we're like adding some things to it and kind of also, thinking about how we can help support this thing too. I think that's a part of this that we're like going out and looking for people to help us with this thing, because effectively,
shout out Waxbase.
Season 1 brought to you by Waxbase. And
Oak Cliff Pilates.
With some contributions from Oak Cliff Pilates, Oak Cliff Brewing.
They were awesome. Oak Cliff Brewing has been there too.
A little bit here and there.
Yeah, for promotion. But I feel like that's a big part of this too, is like, hey, let's take this break. Let's do these Texas Talks and really try to get some support that we can kind of work towards for doing a good season 2 and getting a whole nother 42. How many episodes did we do this first year? 46 interviews and neighbors out there. So
we're so excited about season 2. We've already recorded a couple of the episodes that we're going to drop in season 2.
Sorry for teasing them all out, y'all.
But they are bangers of episodes already. Really so it's going to be a good season 2. But like Doug said, we're looking for support. We are looking, if you enjoy the show and you want to be a part of it with us, we are looking for sponsors. We are looking for supporters. We want this to be a community-driven project.
Yeah.
And we've got ways to invite you into that. So
I mean, a big way to support for season 2 is just like, if you own a business in Oak Cliff and you're wanting to advertise with like some really engaged Oak Cliff community, reach out to us at hiddencitypodcast.com. We want to promote your business. We want to bring our listeners to you and showcase that. I feel like that's just a way to help. That's going to be really, really beneficial to us as we're starting to like really bring this new season together. So
we're looking for support from everywhere too. We've got opportunities for individuals in the community that love the podcast and want to support it. First and foremost, we'd ask that you like follow us on Spotify and go subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us 5 stars on all your podcasting platforms. That just helps
us out, listeners.
Get a little visibility, and it really makes a difference in the end. I would say also, if you have ideas, like if you have a guest suggestion or something that you think we should do or try, we're all ears. So like feedback is welcome. Go to our website, put it in the contact form and send it to us.
We don't know what we don't know, and so it's like getting connected to other people. Like that's awesome. Like think that way.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it makes our lives easier to kind of like know who's out there.
Yeah.
But we also want to be like interviewing people that you guys are excited to hear from.
Yep.
And then lastly, we need financial support. So if you're interested in the show, you want to help keep making these Oak Cliff stories happen the way they're happening. We are looking for people that want to make a contribution to the show, help support and invest in season 2. Some of the fun things we were able to do in season 1 were, sponsored by Waxbase for a reason. Yeah. But, we'd love to do more offsite episodes. We'd love to like go, to different places in Oak Cliff and actually shoot an episode.
Yeah.
But we need money to do that. So like if you're interested in seeing more of that, or if you're just interested in the show, monthly options on the website, also one-time contribution options. And Doug, I think for people that are able to contribute $50 or more, we have something special for them.
Yeah, we're gonna work with Jeff Rogers to do a T-shirt for everyone that is a Hidden City Oak Cliff T-shirt that we're proud of, and just like thanks for considering to support this, because we love telling these stories. We love getting the neighbors out there and just seeing how people connect with all this, but we do need help to do that, and so having businesses or listeners helping support this is going to be really how we take this to the next level. And we got some fun ideas too, for those listeners that do support us, like the idea of doing a live show, and just like Grant was mentioning too, some of those ideas of going off site and Jason bringing his gear and coming out and setting up shop somewhere in Oak Cliff and showing where all this stuff happens. Those are part of the dreams for this thing. So we need help to do that. So, yeah.
So hiddencitypodcast.com/support. You can learn all about all those opportunities there. We'll be, taking, like we said, a short break to kind of, catch a breath and
get ready for
married.
season 2.
Get married and then
that's crazy.
Move into season 2. But in the meantime, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for being a part of this and sharing it. And just, it's been a joy to like do it, and we just want to keep doing it.
And we hope you guys enjoy these Texas talks. We put a lot of thought into them as well. And the next couple of weeks they'll be there. But guys, to season 1, look at that. Season 1, Savannah.
Made it, guys.
We appreciate the team
Cheers.
here. Thanks for listening, y'all. Hey, thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Hidden City. We hope you discovered something about Oak Cliff that you didn't know. If you enjoyed the show, I hope you subscribe to it on YouTube and then follow us on any of the podcasting platforms. Also, if you enjoyed it, please share with a friend, and thanks so much for tuning in.